Welcome back to the Fluent English Room. I'm Emily.
And I'm Ethan. We are so glad you've joined us for another episode of our video podcast. Today, we're tackling a question we get all the time. What do native English speakers really say when they aren't reading from a script?
It's such a great question because textbooks often teach us very formal ways to speak. But in our daily lives, whether we're at home with family, out with friends, or at the office, we use a specific set of phrases that make communication smooth and natural.
Exactly. Recently, we've noticed that even across different cultures, the same social situations tend to pop up over and over again. Because of that, there are about 20 essential phrases that act like a survival kit for daily conversation.
We've broken these down into 5 key categories: responding to change plans, reacting to surprises, handling invitations, communicating briefly, and wishing someone well.
This is going to be a deep dive, so grab a cup of coffee, maybe a notebook, and let's get started.
Let's start with something everyone experiences: changing plans. Ethan, has a friend ever canceled on you at the last minute?
Oh, all the time. Actually, just the other day, a friend of mine was supposed to help me move some furniture, and he texted me saying he had double booked himself. He felt terrible about it.
That's the perfect example. When someone changes plans, they usually feel a bit guilty or apologetic. You want to use phrases that show you aren't upset and that they don't need to worry.
In the sources we're looking at today, there are 5 perfect responses for this. If someone says, "I'm so sorry, I forgot I had something else scheduled," you can say, "Don't worry about it. No worries. No problem. No biggie. Things happen."
I love how casual these are. Don't worry about it is a classic because it directly addresses their apology. You're telling them, hey, I don't want you to feel any discomfort over this.
And no biggie is just a shorter, more casual way of saying it's not a big deal. But let's look closer at things happen. Emily, why do we say that?
It's very empathetic. It acknowledges that we are all human. It's human to forget things or to double book yourself once in a while. By saying things happen, you're telling the other person that you understand that life is messy.
Now, there is a similar phrase, things come up, but we have to be careful here because the usage is slightly different. Things come up refers to unexpected situations.
Right, like if your car breaks down or there's a sudden emergency at work. If the babysitter just forgot she had another appointment, things happen is better. But if she calls and says, my mom's car broke down and I have to drive her to work, she might say, I'm sorry, something came up. As the listener, you'd respond, no biggie, things come up, it happens.
Moving on to our third category, surprising news. This is one of my favorite parts of English because it's all about the energy you bring to the conversation.
I agree. Imagine a friend tells you something incredible. For example, maybe they've been searching for a job for a whole year and suddenly they get 2 offers in the same day.
That actually happened to someone in the sources. 2 offers, one in Virginia and one in Pennsylvania. It turns the job search into a major life decision. In that moment, you need phrases that show excitement. 6. What? 7. No way. 8. Whoa, really? 9. How do you feel about that?
This is where we need to talk about tone of voice. This is so important for English learners to understand. If you say what or no way with a flat, bored voice, it sounds negative or like you don't believe them.
Exactly. You need an uplifted tone. If you say no way with a smile, it shows you are surprised and excited for them. But if you say no way with a serious face in a downward tone, it sounds like you're questioning their choice or saying that's a bad idea.
The same goes for whoa, really? Keep that voice high and bright to show support.
And don't forget the last one. How do you feel about that? This is such a powerful question. When someone has a big choice to make, like which city to move to, it stops being just a fact and becomes real life. Asking about their feelings shows you are a deep, attentive friend.
Just remember, if you use a serious tone with that question, emphasizing the that at the end, it makes the situation feel very heavy or even negative. So keep it light if the news is good.
Let's talk about our fourth category, invitations. Emily, you've had a busy year, especially with a new baby, so I'm sure your social life looks a bit different now.
Oh, absolutely. When life gets hectic, whether you have a newborn, a massive project at work, or you're just exhausted, you can't always say yes to every invitation to the park or for coffee.
But you also don't want to sound rude. You want to show that you appreciate the invite, even if you can't go. The sources suggest two great, soft ways to decline. I hate to miss out, but I'd love to, but
You always follow those with a clear reason, like, I'm really tired today, or I have too much work. Using hate or love shows your emotion. It shows that you want to be there, but your circumstances won't allow it.
now what if you can go?
Then keep it simple and enthusiastic. 12, sure, sounds good. 13, sounds good to me.
This is a very clear, casual way to respond to a plan, and if you're coming from somewhere else, like the office, you can use this helpful get structure. 14. I get off at 2, but I can get there by 2:30.
I love that phrase because it uses get in two different ways. Get off means finish work, and get there means arrive. Also, using the word by is key here. It sets an average or maximum arrival time, so you aren't promising to be there at exactly 2:01.
We have a very important cultural warning for this section, too. If you studied British English, you might have heard the phrase, I can't be bothered, to decline an invitation.
Yes, but if you are in the United States, do not use this. In American English, I can't be bothered sounds extremely rude and irritated. It sounds like you are annoyed that the person even asked you. Unless you want to hurt someone's feelings, stick to I'd love to, but
Moving on to category 4, brief communication. This is vital for people who work together or live together. Emily, you and your husband run a business together, right?
we do, and that means we are constantly communicating about everything: what's for dinner, who's watching the kids, creative ideas for work. Sometimes I just need a quick answer without starting an hour-long meeting.
That's where these introductory questions come in handy. Can I tell you something really quick? Can I ask you something really quick?
These are so respectful because they don't assume the other person can immediately stop what they're doing to listen to you. If your husband is focused on a task and you just launch into a story, his brain might be on a completely different track.
Exactly. It also works as a polite interruption in the office. If two coworkers are talking and you need to give one of them a quick message saying, "Can I tell you something really quick?" lets them know they can get back to their conversation in 5 seconds.
Now, what about small talk? If you want to ask someone about a recent event like a holiday or an exam, you use this structure. How'd your event go?
How'd your weekend go? Or how'd the interview go? It's perfect for a quick answer like, "It was great," or "It was too short."
But a word of caution: don't use this for long or complicated stories. You wouldn't ask someone at the grocery store, how'd your birth go? Because that's an emotional 20-hour story. Keep it to simple events.
And speaking of warnings, Emily, tell them about the scary sentence.
Oh, listeners, please be careful with this one. Never say, we need to talk, or I want to talk with you, unless you want the other person to be terrified.
It's true. If someone says, "We need to talk," most English speakers immediately think, "I'm in trouble, I'm getting fired, or my partner's breaking up with me." It makes it impossible to focus on anything else for the rest of the day.
If you just have a quick question, stick to, can I ask you something really quick? Save, we need to talk for when you're actually upset and want the other person to be nervous.
Finally, let's wrap up with our 5th category, wishing someone well. We do this all the time, before a date, an interview, or even a stressful trip to the store with kids.
The most basic way is, have a good time. Hope it goes well.
To make it more casual, you can actually cut out the subject I. Instead of saying, "I hope your interview goes well," which sounds a bit serious and formal, just say, "Hope your interview goes well." It feels much friendlier when you're saying goodbye to a friend.
Another great one is fingers crossed. Usually we actually cross our fingers when we say it. It's a way of saying, I'm hoping for the best for you.
And if someone is facing a challenge, you can use, "You got this. Don't sweat it."
You got this doesn't mean you received a package, it means you can do it. And don't sweat it refers to the sweat you get when you're hot or nervous. So you're telling them, don't be nervous, you are capable.
You can even combine them for a super encouragement boost. Don't sweat it, you got this. It's the perfect thing to say to someone who is doing something new and scary.
Wow, Ethan, that was a lot of phrases, but I think they are so useful for anyone wanting to sound more natural.
I agree. It's these small nuances like tone of voice or knowing when to use by versus at that really make a difference in how you were perceived.
Before we go, we have a question for all of you in the Fluent English Room community.
Here is the scenario. Your friend says to you, I hate that I can't come to your party. They feel bad about missing out. Based on what we talked about today, what would you say to make them feel better?
Let us know your answers in the comments below. We love reading how you put these lessons into practice.
If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to hit that subscribe button and give us a thumbs up. It helps us keep the room open for more English learners around the world.
And don't forget to check the description for more resources on how to become a more confident English speaker.
Thanks for listening.
And we'll see you next week for a brand new lesson.
Bye.